All right, B, from the postseason to the offseason, the Cowboys rookie minicamp started on Friday and continues this weekend. They took offensive guard Tyler Booker from Alabama with their first-round pick. So it's Jeremy Fowler's ringtone. We're talking football, so let's bring out the Fowler Files. Jeremy, still have some work ahead outside of rookie camp for the Cowboys. We know that they're trying to get a deal done with Micah Parsons. So where are they in that process at this moment?
Well, Scooby, trying is relative. They want to sign Micah Parsons. They plan to. They budgeted to do so. But I'm told the Cowboys have not yet ramped up negotiations with Micah Parsons and his agent. That will come. The Cowboys love to take their time with these sort of deals. You saw it last year with Dak Prescott. Didn't get done until right before the season. Late August for CeeDee Lamb. They've done that in the past. So they do have a penchant for paying their star players. They know what the market is. We're talking $35, $40 million per year for a player of this caliber. So they got a couple months to shake that out. In the meantime, Amari Cooper. Cowboys do need an extra wide receiver coming out of the draft. They did not take one. I'm told there is at least some mutual interest between Amari Cooper and the Cowboys having some sort of reunion. Now, the Cowboys don't want to spend big here. Amari Cooper's made, nearly $140 million in his career, so he's probably not eager to take a low deal here. They would have to work something out. But as one source told me, that this might be good for both sides to come back together and run it back.
I can hear Cowboys fans sucking their teeth right now all over America. But Dallas rookies in camp right now. Browns rookies get there Friday, including Shedeur Sanders. That's a crowded QB room that they got over there. What's the possibility of a trade or two going on in Cleveland?
Well, asking around after the draft, the sense I get is the Browns value or look at their roster through the prism of currency, through value, right? So that could lead to a potential trade down the road because it is a crowded room. Head coach Kevin Stefanski does like to keep 4 quarterbacks in his room. You see Deshaun Watson there, probably won't be a part of that because of the injury. So you roll with those 4. They gave up a 3rd-round pick and 2 5th-round picks for Kenny Pickett, Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders. Maybe they can recoup some of that if they showcase one of those players in the preseason or one looks good or there's an injury down the road. So we'll see what happens. They're going to give these guys a shot. They are very high on Dillon Gabriel. That's a player that I had earmarked going into the draft, was hearing from other teams that the Browns low-key really liked. He's a smaller player, so he didn't have a high draft status, but they love the way he plays the position. So we'll see if he can make a little move here.
I have a feeling you're going to be talking about the Browns a lot on SportsCenter this season.
No doubt.
In the past 10 years, the Browns have more seasons with 3 or fewer wins than they have playoff appearances. That's crazy, but we'll talk about them a lot. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks, man.
Still in. Quarterback competition will consist of Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. Sanders is currently tied for the 5th shortest odds in the NFL to win Offensive Rookie of the Year at 15-1, with Gabriel set at 60-1. All right, it's not just Mike T with us. Dominique Foxworth also as well. Neek, I just have to tell you, I was watching you on Get Up. I really love the artwork. Stephen A. was focused on Monica's in the Marriott.
I just looked
your
up.
artwork, especially.
I just looked up.
Especially,
what's up, guys? What's going on?
The little
dog?
ESPN drawing of you, fantastic.
What's happening?
What's up?
Okay, I worked really hard on all of these. I appreciate that you guys see value in my artwork. I've been working on my art skills.
There we go.
Absolutely.
I got you.
Okay. Tell me this.
I was just
Mike
joking.
T.
It's my kids.
We know.
No. I think we might have just had an earthquake here, so that's why we seemed a little distracted, to be honest with you.
Dom, it actually shook here like a damn earthquake or something.
So if Stephen A. and I were a little awkward for a moment, we were just trying to survive in this hostile environment.
I was part of that awkwardness, too. I was like...
Yeah, we were all like, okay, I thought we're in New York, not California. All right, Mike T. Will Shedeur be the Browns starter week 1?
Yes, he's the most talented quarterback in that room. Look, I had him at the bottom of the 1st, top of the 2nd. Ironically, I compared him to Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins had a great career in Minnesota with offensive coordinator Kevin Stefanski, now the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Whatever happened in the draft, to me, is ancient history. Shedeur Sanders on Saturday night should have been calling the skill players of the Cleveland Browns, saying, hey, here I come, and start developing a relationship. If I'm the Browns, I either keep Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett as my veteran guy. I took Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd round, who's a nice player, not a lot of upside, but I really need to know what I have in Shedeur Sanders, because next year I have 2 first-round picks. And if I can win with Shedeur, I could get a massive haul for those picks, given all those other quarterbacks that are available. So if I'm Shedeur, whatever happened, lessons learned, and just move forward. And when you look at the skill players that they have, Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku, they added Harold Fannin, 2 good running backs, Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson. You look at some of these other guys that have done well, be it Jayden Daniels last year, C.J. Stroud 2 years ago. I think Shedeur is set up for success in Cleveland.
I think you're wrong, Mike T. I think you're wrong, and I think somebody like you will understand and appreciate where I'm coming from when I say this. I don't think the day one starter or the week one starter for the NFL season for the Cleveland Browns, as it pertains to Shedeur Sanders specifically, is going to be determined by just his play. I think all the stuff that has been said, all the stuff that has been reported is erroneous as it may be in the eyes of a lot of people, including myself, as cruel as it might be in the eyes of people like myself in terms of what happened to him. I think that you had people looking to give him a reality check. And now I think what you're going to do is see people wanting to test his emotional and mental resolve as it pertains to that. As of yesterday afternoon, he was en route to Cleveland, from what I was told, in a pickup truck, ready to put on his lunch, grab his lunch pail, put on his hard hat, and get to work. That's what I was told in terms of yesterday about how he's looking at things right now, anxious to go out there and show out. But you're hearing people out of Cleveland talk, Dom, about how Dylan Gabriel was their preferred quarterback, Big Ten Player of the Year, that kind of thing. They were saying that they looked at him. I don't know how, because he wasn't Shedeur Sanders, but nevertheless, they were looking at it. You look at Flacco. He's a fan favorite. They loved him in Cleveland. They never wanted him to leave after the job he did for them a couple of years ago when Deshaun Watson went down, and he came in and did his thing, okay? And then you're looking at Kenny Pickett. Now, I know that Kenny Pickett is a former Steeler. Then he went to Philadelphia. He's got a Super Bowl championship as a backup. We get all of that part. But in his last 17 starts, his record is like 13-4. And so when you look at it from that standpoint, I think they look at Shedeur as a long-term solution. I'm not saying he's going to sit out the year or anything like that. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's the starter at some point this upcoming season, but I don't think he's a guy that's going to be judged by just his play. I think they're going to want to see whether or not that ego that people were talking about is something that they're going to have to concern themselves with. And unfortunately, I think they're going to test them. And that's why I think he's going to be prevented from starting week one. Not because he won't deserve it. I just think they're going to test him. Go ahead, Dom.
Well, I mean, I think that I don't think it's outlandish what you're saying, but when you're talking about the Cleveland Browns, I think they want a quarterback pretty badly, and they've demonstrated in recent history that they could put a bunch of things aside. They could put off-field behavior aside. They can put NFL precedent, a fully guaranteed contract that pissed off all the rest of the league aside, because this team has been so thirsty for a quarterback. So if Shedeur Sanders shows up and he's the best quarterback, I don't see why that team, of all teams, the one team that did draft him, would say, nah, we good. We want to be worse with one of these other guys. I'm not sure that Shedeur is going to be the best quarterback in the room on day one. He's a rookie. Plenty of rookies, first round and second round and third round rookies do not